Greg Jennings is here. Greg, welcome. I love that tie. I think it's actually one of mine. Nick, I was just saying, we share a lot in the style list. We share a lot of stuff, and it's one of my favorites. Are you expecting Mahomes to expose the Eagles' defense?
It's certainly on the board. So the Eagles' defense is exceptional at getting to the opposing quarterback, and the Chiefs' offensive line will face a massive test. However, when it comes to tests, the Eagles, I'm not sure they are prepared for their part of it. So, Wilds, you know one of the quirks about me, I have a number of them, but I try to wait as long as possible into the winter before I put on a coat. Because I want, when the Arctic blast hits, to be able to bundle up a bit and feel better. And I feel like the Eagles have been walking around in their North Face for a bunch of 40-degree days. And it's about to be 5 below, and I'm not sure they have enough layers for it. So I'm going to show you guys a graphic, and it'll be pretty clear what it is in short order. It's a bunch of nondescript quarterbacks with a couple decent ones in there. That is, of course, the full list of quarterbacks that the Philadelphia Eagles have played this year. And you will notice they played what I would call 4 good to very good quarterbacks this year. Goff, the Prince, Rodgers, and Dak. 3 of those 4 scored 33 or more on them. And the Prince, if you remember, it was a torrential monsoon in that game, and he fumbled the ball 4 times, but they moved the ball pretty well aside from that.
Well, moved it.
So, Greg, when in the last month you played Josh Johnson, Brock Purdy, Davis Webb, who else is on there? Andy Dalton, Dak, who then scored 40, Daniel Jones a couple times. I don't think you're ready for the Patrick Mahomes aerial assault that's coming on Sunday. I don't think they're ready.
Whoa. Let's slow down.
Okay.
Well, you're not going to say they're not ready.
Spoiler alert, America. Greg's going to pick against the Chiefs for the 9th week in a row. We'll wait till Friday to find out, but I'm guessing it's coming.
No, I'm not. I believe that Patrick Mahomes will expose them to some degree. That's what he is. That's what he does. Paired with Andy Reid, and we know what this offense is. We know who Patrick Mahomes is. However, I'm not just ready to give up on this Philadelphia defense and say, oh, it was because of the quarterbacks or lack of quarterbacking that they played against that allowed them to be so successful. No, this is a really good defense who gets after quarterbacks, who disrupts what you're trying to do offensively. Look, Brandon Aiyuk, I respect everything that he said. I think he has some validity because when you don't get to exercise what you've prepared for because of lack of personnel, it's real. Like, we can't sit here. He can't say whether this defense was really good or not. What I can say is the defense knocked out both of your quarterbacks. And there's something to be said with that. Like, this defense is real. I believe Patrick Mahomes will be who he's always been, and that defense knows it. But if they can slow him down, which has been easier to do with Patrick Mahomes in Super Bowl games. You're the stat guy.
So we're going to talk about that in a moment.
We will, but
let's go ahead.
This is why I still like the Philadelphia Eagles defense. But Patrick Mahomes he is who he is.
Bro?
Well, first of all, Nick can answer this for me during the break. Can you fumble 4 times in a game and still be called the Prince? That's just something to chew on.
I mean, obviously, literally, yes.
All right, 4 interceptions, 4 fumbles, whatever it is. He does that a lot.
That's right, yeah.
All right, but anyway, I don't like the word expose because expose implies that you're fraudulent. All right, and I get why Aiyuk might say that, considering that Kansas City exposed San Francisco's supposedly great defense to the tune of 44 points during the regular season. Okay, but Philadelphia's defense is legit. All right, that pass rush is one of the best we've seen. It's legit. That pass defense is legitimate. So, you know how great I think Patrick Mahomes is. I think he's going to come out and play a very good game. I think they do put up 30-ish.
30?
Points. So I think he does well. But I think it's a close game. I think Philly's going to score their points, and I think he's going to need to do something like that to win the game. But expose, like make them look like they don't know what they're doing, like they're not as good as advertised, I don't see that.
Yeah, I mean, if you put up 30, though, bro, I would
consider that's exposing, man.
Yeah.
What is it? I mean, they haven't put up 30
No,
all
they give up
season.
20 a game. They give up 20 a game, and you're facing now the best quarterback of this generation. Yeah. 30-ish.
Okay, Nick, can I show you a graphic? You tell me if you're worried about
Sure.
it, considering
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes got sacked 3 times when he played the Bucks,
Yeah.
and he got pressured 29 times. This is the Eagles' pass rush. Dusty has compared them to the 85 Bears, but they are good at getting to the quarterback, and they don't have to send extra people to do it. Are you worried?
Listen,
Since we don't think Patrick Mahomes is going to be 100%. I've been studying his gait.
No, I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be very close to 100%. But listen, that is the Eagles' path. The Eagles' path is to do what Tampa was able to do and harass Mahomes more than any player has ever been pressured in any game in NFL history. That's a true stat. And if they can do that, but the Chiefs have remade their offensive line with that in mind. And really, real quick before we move on, Wilds, in fairness to the Niners, because Bruce said the Chiefs exposed them to the tune of 44 points. The Niners defense only allowed 42 points. 2 of them were when Jimmy Garoppolo self-safetied. So you guys got to keep that in mind. It's not totally fair. It's not totally fair.
Ramsey, you see that Supreme luggage too? Ooh, it's going to be me out there in Arizona. Chiefs GM and honorary committee member Brett Veach said the Chiefs Super Bowl window wide open, telling ESPN when you have Pat Mahomes, we're wired to go after it every year. Nick, you agree with that?
Well, yeah, of course. And listen, I tweeted this last week, and I'm sure it's going to get going right now with Greg and Brew. There is going to be a false narrative that Patrick Mahomes struggles in Super Bowls, which is odd because he has, we can show it to you, the greatest playoff numbers in the history of the league, and he's played 2 of his 13 career playoff games were Super Bowls. So it's a good percentage of them, and yet those are his career numbers. When here's the reality of the situation. He has not yet, Brew, played start to finish a perfect Super Bowl, obviously. But the Niners game was against the number 1 defense in the league. He threw 2 touchdowns, ran for 1 touchdown, completed a 66-yard air yard pass to save the game on 3rd and 18, and led a 10-point fourth quarter comeback. And the Bucs Super Bowl, while the box score looks awful, if you watch that game, you see a player the entire time making marvelous plays. And I know everyone who watched the game agrees with me. I know the Tampa Bay defensive players agree with me because they were talking about it throughout the game and after the game. So the idea that Mahomes, the moment's gotten too big for him in the Super Bowl, Brew, I flatly disregard, and I think he's going to be excellent in this game.
I love how Nick always shows Mahomes playoff graphs.
There we go.
Playoff graphics, right?
Yeah.
Never the Super Bowl. Oh, you're including first round games,
Well, he
second
doesn't play
round
many
games.
first round games.
The fact of the matter is, in 2 Super Bowls, he's got 2 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. And I like Mahomes,
Well,
but I keep
it's
it
3
objective
touchdowns,
up
though.
in here.
If we're going to include rushing
2
as we do for other guys, it's 3 touchdowns.
4
To be fair,
interceptions.
he ran for 1.
And Nick,
In a comeback.
look,
To win the
Brett
championship.
Veach is right
Win Super Bowl
that
MVP.
Mahomes has the rest. He's got the decade plus. He's, with the rules today, he's going to play. I think he'll still be great at 40. So he's got a long time to win more Super Bowls. But, Nick, I would think you'd agree with this. If he loses this Super Bowl, and if he loses, we're going to presume he doesn't play that well. If he loses this Super Bowl, then people will begin to wonder, are we ahead of ourselves in this potential GOAT? I won't wonder because he's got time. But that will be out there because in my mind, I think in your, I think
Please do this.
What on
I-
who
not me.
will?
In my-
People are going
Come
to.
on.
in
What are you
my
talking
mind,
about?
Own
in
it,
my
Brew.
mind, I think in your mind, and I think in wise people that consider history like this, Patrick Mahomes is not so much competing with Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and all these other guys. He's competing with Tom Brady. That's what we all want to see. Can he get near the GOAT? And if he loses and is now 1-2 in the Super Bowl, hasn't had a great Super Bowl game, his numbers don't look very good when Brady's look excellent, 21 touchdowns, 6 interceptions in his 10 Super Bowl appearances, and a 40-something-year-old Brady beat Mahomes twice in huge games, 2-0. That will give people pause. Not me,
No.
but that will give a lot of pundits pause. I think it gives Greg Jennings pause.
Unbelievable argument.
All right, don't throw it on me. It
Yeah, it's
won't
on
give me
you.
pause. I like Patrick Mahomes. I think his future is bright. I agree with the GM. Absolutely. It's wide open when you
Okay,
got a
so
guy
0
like
for
that.
4.
It all kicks off next Sunday at 1 Eastern on Fox.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.